All right, so our essential question for this week, we're putting two sections into one because both sections are short and they are related. So our essential question is, how do scientists study the history of the Earth? So as humans, we like to organize things in our minds in a logical way to help us understand it. So we have divided time into the geologic time scale, and it divides the Earth's history based on major past events. So instead of a year, a week, a month, a day, it's bigger. And most of the time periods end on an extinction, like a mass extinction event. So units of geologic time. On this scale, like I said, as humans, we like to chop things up and divide things and put them together in a logical order. But we don't have days, weeks, months. We have eras, periods, and epochs. So eras are the largest period of time. And there are three main eras that we're going to talk about, plus the one that came before. Paleozoic means ancient life. Mesozoic means middle life, and Cenozoic means recent life. Periods are the most commonly used. The Jurassic was a period of time. And epochs were the smallest unit of time on the scale. So, oops, not yet.
I had a question.
Yes.
So would the Ice Age also fall into like those periods of times, like during the Ice Age when they had like the mammoths?
The Ice Age is an event that happened during,
Right.
those periods of time.
Oh, that's cool.
And these happened within millions of years, which is a really hard concept for us to wrap our heads around since we only live like maybe 100 years, and only really lucky people live that long.
Yeah, because didn't like scientists believe you only live like 2,000 years? Like they're like the Earth's only like a couple
Yeah.
thousand
Yeah. We
until
talked
like
about
we
that in
found actual
10.1 and 10.2.
someone found fossils on. I mean, I don't know if it was on accident, but they were just archaeologists, I guess,
Yeah.
became a thing.
All right. So now that we've talked about the scale, we are going to talk about the different periods within that scale. So multicellular life evolved in distinct phases. That is the fossil, very famous fossil.
Isn't there something like that in China where there's like a bunch of soldiers like lined up? Or I'm not sure. It's in an Asian country where like
I don't know.
they're stone and like you could kind of go to a museum and see them.
But they're not fossils, they were carved.
They were carved.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that. It's because there's also fossils like of humans, right? Sometimes like
Oh, yeah.
in preserved, for example.
Yep. The preserved remains in ice and volcanic ash. We talked about that last week too. All right, the era that came before is called the Precambrian era. So we named the very first period on our time scale the Cambrian period. So anything that came before that is the Precambrian era. So this is the era that came before multicellular life. And the only organisms around during this time were aquatic plants and single-celled organisms. As to how single-celled organisms evolved, there's a whole, it's called the abiotic hypothesis that
Didn't it
scientists
evolve
came
from
up
like
with at UC San Diego. They did a whole experiment on how cells
yeah.
evolved in the first place.
Didn't they kind of it's basically just like evolution. Like the first like it was so small, like a singular cell, like so small that like it just evolved over time, like multiplying it
Yeah,
cellularly.
started
It's
off
because
as
I
one.
know that because like they teach this normally they teach this in like seventh grade or like certain science classes they teach this in like more in depth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I go way more in depth in my college class too. We actually talk about the whole experiment they did at UC San Diego.
My sister's gonna graduate college.
Very good.
Yeah. And
Congratulations.
Fullerton. She's a Fullerton student.
Good.
She goes to Fullerton. Yeah. She graduated in 3 years.
That's good for her.
Yeah,
Saves a lot of
she's
money.
gonna graduate at 20 years old, and like it's pretty cool because she like studied really hard for it, and like I'm gonna go and stuff. So yeah,
Good.
yeah.
All right. The next era is called the Paleozoic era, the ancient life. This is when multicellular organisms first appeared. And that process, when one cell became two, one cell became two, that is the theory of endosymbiosis. One cell became two, two cells became many. The most important trend during this era is life moving onto land. Before this era, everything was tied to water.
Wasn't the whole Earth covered with water, and then like kind of water, like land appeared, or was it like
Sort of. That's more
sort of?
earth science. That's more
Yeah,
geology.
rather than biology, because biology is more life. It's the study of life.
And like I said, the Cambrian period is the first period in this era. And the diversification of all these organisms is called the Cambrian explosion because a huge diversity of animal species evolved during this time.
I had a question because I don't know if this is true because I don't know, like I saw a video where like supposedly on Earth it rained for like 300 days or something, like it rained for a long time. I'm not sure if you learned that
Mm-mm.
in certain, or if that's not true at all.
I I would have to do some more research
Research.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
The Mesozoic era is the age of reptiles. Dinosaurs, birds, flowering plants, and the first mammals appeared. So this is when all the dinosaurs lived. Your guys' Ed puzzle this week is about the dinosaurs and how they died. And the extinction of the dinosaurs marked the end of this era and then the beginning of the next one. The root word meso means middle. So this is middle life. And you see that root word in a lot of things. The Cenozoic era is when mammals became more and more common. Placental mammals and monotremes evolved. So we are placental mammals. When we have babies, they are attached to us inside of our uterus, not our stomachs, our uterus, by an organ called the placenta. And then we give live birth to babies. A lot of mammals do this. Elephants do this. Dolphins do this. All mammals do this. Most mammals do this.
Except cold-blooded, right? Like
So cold-blooded aren't mammals.
exactly, they're cold-blooded, so they give like eggs and stuff.
Reptiles, yeah.
Reptiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
There are some mammals that lay eggs. Those are called monotremes. The platypus is a monotreme.
Certain animals,
between, but
certain animals in the water give birth like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
And then modern humans appeared very late in the era. And then 12.6, our next section, is all about that. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about that this week.